see it as an engineering problem. We have evolution not taking care of us well. Evolution cares that we reproduce, and then it leaves the rest to random decay. And so as we decay, damage in our body accumulates, and if damage crosses a threshold, we die. And so the strategy of the Methuselah Foundation is to repair the damage directly, and once it accumulates again, repair it again. That's a sustainable cure that we're trying to make.
My whole life I've said, I'm going to peak at 40. I just have this real feeling I'm going to peak at 40. But maybe that's because shortly thereafter,
I don't know anything about him.
you know,
yeah, maybe that thought has some origin
downhill.
that's actually hardwired.
Hardwired to feel like.
That could be true. Yeah, that's the one thing that the aging research community has right, is the evolutionary origin of aging. That tells you you're made to last till reproduction, and what happens then is random. And the question is, what do you do about this? Do you want to clean up the mess that nature left us? We don't understand any of it. We don't have a chance to understand it. Even if we did understand it, we didn't know how to fix it. Because the processes that make us live are so indefinitely complex. Evolution didn't have this brain that had worked in simple equations. It could be infinitely complex for all that we know. We can't even predict how a bloody protein is gonna fold. How are we talking about curing aging? We consist of cells. Each cell is made up of millions of proteins. The body is made up of trillions of cells. And these people think that at some point we're going to understand it. It's ridiculous. That's where the Methuselah Foundation makes a difference, by repairing the damage, because damage in our bodies is static and is simple. Processes are massively complicated. And that's the gist of our message really to our
It has a lot to do with enzymes, right? Enzymes come along and...
Right, we have a few of them. And
I could never understand
biology. We know what they do. And we do use enzymes to repair damage. For example, when you have these junk accumulations that I was talking about, like Alzheimer tangles and cholesterol in your heart attacks, in your arteries that causes heart attacks, what we do is discover enzymes that degrade these junk accumulations directly, which nobody has ever thought of doing, just because aging researchers think they have to study processes, and they don't approach the problem with the engineering mentality to just repair whatever's broken.
I've heard that we've discovered enzymes from totally different species that we might be able to somehow apply to our own bodies, or trick our bodies into making these alien enzymes that are from some underwater fish or something weird.
Exactly. So what we started doing is one of the junk molecules named A2E in macular degeneration, and that accumulates in the eye, and once it reaches a pathogenic threshold, you get macular degeneration. And we found an enzyme from another species, actually from the horseradish plant, that degrades this offending compound. And we just tested that in a human cell model, and it's healthy for human cells, and it removes them.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry to cut you off.
So
Very good.
I'm thanking the audience for listening to my pitch until now. They're really patient. So I mean, if you've been that patient, now is the time to go to the webpage www.mfoundation.org and make a donation. And I'm looking forward to the assistance you are going to offer to our wonderful cause.
As soon as I get rich, I will donate. I will.
Thank you, Elaine.
I promise. Okay, state your name.
My name is Keith Causey.
I want to know what you do and why you're interested in transhumanism, longevity, and/or atheism.
Can I put my foot here?
You can put your foot. You can put your foot on the Star Castle. Because everything I build, if it falls apart.
You built this?
Yeah, it was a horrible.
I came in and I was wondering if these were shock sensors. You know, if they were pressure sensitive.
Just shock sensors.
So is this a piezoelectric sensor?
Yeah, you can clearly see them.
So it's a mini transducer.
Yeah.
And you built this?
Yes. And
well, that's absolutely brilliant. Then we have a kind of thing in common, because one of the hats that I wear is as an engineer.
You're an engineer?
I'm a robotic engineer.
A robotics engineer?
Yeah, I build machines that move around and respond to the environment.
Do you know old school electronics can you help me build a simple blinky light circuit?
A blinky light circuit, yeah, like with triacs and that kind of stuff. I can build you. Look, I can build you a light circuit that will work with MIDI. It'll respond to.
What I really want to do, that would be.
5 kilohertz signal is MIDI.
Oh wait, say that again.
MIDI is a protocol that's.
No, I know. I teach electronic music.
Oh, okay.
Those cables over there, the MIDI ones.
I know a little bit about MIDI. I know all the ins and outs about MIDI. Okay. We gotta at least get up to the mic and say. They just totally missed it.
I'm actually a phone from a kid doll.
Do you want to talk about atheism or do you want to talk about longevity?
Well, you know what? I'm really not that incredibly equipped to talk about atheism. I simply am an atheist. And it seems to me that all the reasons for becoming one were really obvious. It was a corner that I inevitably painted myself into because of observations that I made about how the world worked. Adding the existence of a God to an explanation for any physical system that you can observe doesn't really enhance understanding of that system.
It adds another layer to the mystery.
Right, so why bother? No, it doesn't add another layer to the mystery. It attempts to explain the mystery with nonsense. So it's forbidding an individual or a group of individuals from examining a mystery beyond a particular explanation. That explanation must suffice, so it's not to be pursued any further. And I think that's the essence of my reasoning for not wanting to subscribe to any of the conventional religions, is because there's a substitute for exploration or actual examination of the world that's unacceptable.
Now, cheers to that.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, most atheists can't drink much because they all went home early. All the atheists went home early.
Well, no. The people who formally declared themselves to be atheists have left early, but I'm an atheist and I'm still here.
Yeah, but you don't belong.
In spite of all God's attempts to destroy me, I'm still here.
You're part of the H+ transhumanist meetup group.
Did I mention I'm in the atheist?
That's right. I've been there several times, and I also took notes when I went. So I'm unusually well equipped to.
So would you like to say a few words about that?
I like those guys. I like the way they think. I like the fact that they actually collaborate toward a common goal and show up on a monthly basis.
Oh, so they actually have regular monthly meetings.
They do, and they announce them through meetup.com.
Next time I'm actually in town, I will go to the meetings. So what is it that interested you to join the H+ meetup group? Is it about longevity or transhumanism or
nothing. You won't be able to guess. I just be able to tell you. It was a rather circuitous route. See, what I was doing is doing a follow-up on something that a friend of mine told me about remote viewing. So in going through a web search for remote viewing, I came up with this presentation on remote viewing that was supposedly taking place in the Phoenix area. And when I went there, I found out it was all the H+ guys. And half of the H+ guys were also in Alcor. And about a quarter of the ones that weren't in Alcor were in the Methuselah Foundation. So I got to know all of these people in one big slam. And it was an interesting piece of synchronicity because I had just read Aubrey de Grey's Ending Aging. And about 2 years before that, I had read The Singularity is Near by Ray Kurzweil. So these two books, I think, were really inspiring. I mean, they were exciting because it showed a way whereby technology could be used for something more impressive than cell phones and iPods. And
do you know what else Ray Kurzweil does?
I know a few things. He's also one of the more members on the research panel.
He made this synthesizer.
You want to bring with a country that is
I need to plug this in real quick.
Oh, were we dying? Were we out of juice?